Alright, hello. This is HRM, Caesar St. Augustine death1.wmv. And I know that I have a symbolic title as Emperor of the United States since October of 1996. To bring you up to date, it's got to keep my eye on the clock here at 7:08. I got 10 minutes to say what I got to say, and then I got to record probably 3 10-minute sections. From my last recordings, I was on the air, and all I got was just a bunch of probably kids and just people who just were, all they cared about is criticizing. They didn't care about supporting or trying to help. So from the last time I talked, the city of Los Angeles and the county have taken even more of my stuff. Some of it was for expired registration. Even though I wasn't driving the vehicles, they still sit there and whether it's on private property or on the street, anywhere, they have laws that circumvent anything and everything in order to take people's property from them, and that's what they've been doing to me. And that's besides somebody setting fire to my house back in May of 2009. March of 2009. Now, I've always called the White House for the last 3 administrations, and I'm sure that they probably got annoyed with me. And most of the numbers I called were usually about civil rights violations, because I tried everywhere else. I went to the FBI, I went to everybody you could think of. And the way the system is set up is if a poor person has their civil rights violated, you've got to sue the local authorities, which means the city of Los Angeles, the county of Los Angeles, at the local level. Then if you lose, win or lose, well, if you lose, you got to appeal it to the state Supreme Court, and then from there to the Supreme Court. Now, the problem with this is it's like playing poker. If you have money like O.J. Simpson, you probably will make it, but you still have to wait for years and years to get to that spot to prove that your civil rights have been being violated. In my case, I am serious when I tell you people, my rights have been violated for 20 years, more than 20 years, and nobody gives a hell, especially in Los Angeles. So the Secret Service took me seriously when they said that I sympathized with Joe Stack, who flew his plane into the IRS building in Austin, Texas. Now, I never said that I agreed with Joe Stack flying his plane into the building. I simply said I agreed with his philosophy of the bad stuff that's been happening to him. And it drives people crazy. It drives them to do stuff like this. So naturally, they put me on the list to say, well, Caesar could also go crazy and do something too. Well, I don't have an airplane. And besides, 2 years ago, when the Secret Service asked 3 times, check me out if I'm a danger or threat, I don't have to be. They have Al-Qaeda, they have at least 12 different faction groups that they've made so many enemies here in the United States and outside. I don't have to do it. I just sit back and watch them do it. So why should I do it when there's plenty of idiots out there that'll do it? And I don't agree with violence, but if that's what it takes in order to get a message across to these evil, sick, self-centered, ugly people in power, and it doesn't matter whether it's Obama or Bush, Republican or Democrat, they're all bought and paid for by the, listen to this, Bilderberg Group, B-I-L-D-E-R-B-E-R-G. Now you put that into your search engine and read the 25 pages. They've been in operation since 1954. They're evil, and they control all the politics in the world, and nobody cares. And primarily, nobody can do anything about it anyway, so why should we care? So poor Caesar gets his, gets the hell beat out of him. And when I say beat out of me, I mean emotionally, financially. They've taken my cars, my boats, everything that I worked so hard to hold on to for my health resort that I was going to build out in the middle of nowhere in Colorado was destroyed in less than 7 years. And now I'm whittled down to 1 truck and I don't know, countless amounts. I probably have millions and millions of dollars worth of property possessions that I worked for 25 years to hold on to, and now it's all gone. So I don't have anything to live for anymore. Is this a suicide tape? No, it isn't. I am not committing suicide. Your government, the Society of the United States government, your government has murdered me. And when I say murdered me, it murdered all the young years of my life. Now, a friend of mine and me, he's like about 10 years younger, and we're almost like twins. It's very difficult to tell us apart. But he's 10 years younger, and we flip back and forth between claiming who's emperor and who's not. And when we did this emperor thing, we did it because we were doing it symbolically for all the children in Iraq and Afghanistan that have been murdered. Now I did this, excuse me a second, I did this in my last tape, and I showed this, and I want to show it to you again. These are children that have been murdered in Iraq, and this is what it looks like. See that soldier there with his face blown off? And that poor little kid sitting there with a huge bloated tummy? And that baby right there. Baby right here with IVs and stuff in Iraq from some bombing, friendly fire. Here's 3 kids in a coffin, and the poor father screaming and yelling in agony right here. Poor lady who's practically had her face blown off. Another kid, look at the look on this kid's face. And this is what American tax dollars go to pay for. I've got the picture wrong. Look at his face. And here's another one. There's a little baby right below him. And there's the kid who lost all his arms. It was big in the newspapers. Now, they say war is hell and kids are the casualties of wars. I don't think so. And I think Obama and Bush, I don't think, I know, are little puppets. They're in control by the Bilderberg group. The Secret Service came and told me that if I made any more phone calls to the precious White House, that they would arrest me and throw me in jail for nuisance, and that they could interpret my messages. They have lawyers, expensive lawyers, that can interpret the messages to make them sound threatening so they could jail me. Now, you tell me, is that a good government? No, I don't think so. And I'll tell you what, it's 7:15. I got like 3 minutes left. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18. I think that's going to be it. This is the end. And part 2 comes up in the next one.